Well, I hope I can verbalize this and communicate it because it just happened. Wow. I just feel like you ever feel like you were climbing a mountain and it just they're beating you up along the way. They're throwing shit at you and rocks and pulling you down and finally you just kick that last one and then you just go and you're at the top of the mountain. And my God, I feel like I'm there. I got to tell you how I got here briefly. I'm not going to go into the log thing, but you know, you know how you got to give your power away, or you'll leak it. You'll leak it with anger, or you'll blow up, or you just have too much energy. It doesn't count. It doesn't go forward anyway, but it can hurt people. You don't really want to hurt them, but sometimes you just feel overwhelmed and you don't know what to do with all your power, and you can't hold on to it. You can't contain it. It just beats you up. So uh, I've always, I mean, I've gone through so many different stages. Like early in my life, I was giving power away to people I idolized that I wanted to be like someday, and I just gave them my power. And then I gave my power to women. I gave my power to sales, becoming the top salesman where I was working. And I always accomplished those goals, but there was just something that wasn't satisfying. And I, through the religious path, early on, I stumbled across my higher self and don't know how it happened. And I mean to tell you, I was happier every day, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I lost it. I tried to figure it out, lost it, and I was bummed out, depressed for like a year. And then I saw some people that had that look in their eye. Oh, they got it. And so they were Christian. And so I started asking around and stuff. And then they said, hey, uh, you come join us, man. Be a Christian. I thought, wow. It was just the coolest people. It was great. When I got in there, there's this, this hammer guy who came up and told me, okay, I'm here. He was there to cut through the bullshit. And he said, okay, have you done it? You gotta ask forgiveness for all your sins. And, and I said, sins. And I wasn't raised with anything. So he says, I said, well, what's a sin? He goes, well, have you ever had sex with other women? I said, yeah, hundreds. I mean, we're in the free love stage here at the 60s and 70s, so, well, 70s. And it was just everybody was having sex with each other. There was no such thing as an STD. You could get gonorrhea, but it was like 1 in a million would get that. You and Christopher Columbus were the only ones that get gonorrhea. But and women were cool with it, and men were cool, and it didn't matter if we saw them again, or it was just you know free love. And so he said, well, that's a sin. You got to ask forgiveness for all those. I said, ooh, that was a wonderful time. Okay, well, I want to get back what I lost, so I want Jesus. And okay, now, have you ever done drugs? I said, yeah, I've done every drug. I've done at least 100 different types. I haven't shot anything up, but I've done every pill and smoked everything. So it was just different then. I mean, nobody died of cocaine back then. We used to just roll up and then I heard in 1980 when my favorite football player for the Browns died of a cocaine overdose. We all started laughing. Have you ever heard of that? A cocaine overdose? How's that? That's like it would be the equivalent of if somebody said, uh, they smoked too much weed and they died. It doesn't. It just it was funny, but all we had at the time was pure cocaine, and then we started seeing this stuff. It was cut. They said it was cut with something else. Oh, we don't want any cut stuff. And then eventually that got in, and now it's probably 5% cocaine and just immediately cause you to get sick. It's not even close to the same thing. But anyway, so I had to ask forgiveness for all the drugs I've ever done. I go, oh my God. And so I did, just give me Jesus. And Jesus, so Jesus really does want to come in your heart. He really does want carte blanche over your heart. He really does want to be there whenever you need him. And he would never say, and I can't believe I even used to entertain the thought that there was a hell or that there was, what else? There was sin. I mean, that's all bullshit because none of the foul balls, is what I call them, because they're out of play, none of those foul balls go forward. They don't exist where we come from. It's a waste of time. And when you're leaking energy, that's when, or when you evacuate yourself, that's when you engage in these outside things. You leave yourself. You have to leave you, who's 100% love, and evacuate. And that's when bad things happen. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, I did that, and Jesus was so cool. He did come in, and he is my best friend. And he knows me 100%, and we laugh about this. I mean, I talked to him. I said, I even asked, because I was a Christian for a while, and I felt so awkward. I don't know, maybe the preconceived images of the guy with jeans and a t-shirt and walking around with a Bible all the time, quoting scripture, and it just makes me cringe. It still does. And so I was a Christian for a while, and I turned on my family to it, and they were all gun ho, and they're still Christian. They're still happy, believe in the same thing, believe in hell, believe in sin and all that stuff. But actually, Jesus just wants to come in your heart. He wants to be, but you have to give him consent, and he is 100% love. He's the kindest, most compassionate person that's ever that this world has ever seen. He is definitely the king of the world, and I'm not sure if it's God in the flesh. I mean, maybe that was God. Maybe when he was on the cross, and he told Jesus to sit this one out. He wants to do this, and Jesus says, Father, why have you forsaken me? We've talked about this. I'm in alignment with everything with you. I'm a perfect expression of you. He says, I know, Jesus, but this one, I want to experience the separation of my children. I want to experience the pain and the separation. I want to experience this death. And when we meet on the other side, you're going to be glowing and you're going to be a master and it'll be great. But you've done perfect, perfect job. And Jesus, all he talked about was the Father. The Father. I give you these gifts in the name of my Father. This is in the name of the Father, the Father, the Father. Everything was the Father. And I thought, that's it. The Father. That's it. For the Father's source. It's so frickin' right in front of us. It's so easy. My God. Ah. So now I've surrendered all of my carbon body, all of my emotional, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, elemental, every part of me that's here. I give all of it to the Father. And that means all. That means every time somebody says, is very kind to me, or every time somebody thanks me for doing something nice, it goes immediately to the Father. It doesn't even touch me. I mean, oh yeah, thank you. Gone. Goes up one of them chutes like in the ATM. It's right up to the Father. If it's a problem, if it's a worry, if it's a concern, everything, good, bad, or indifferent, goes to the Father. Everything. When I'm washing dishes and my mind starts to drift, I go, I'm doing this to honor my Father. Every single thing in your life now has a purpose. Everything. Yeah, when you fart, you're farting. Maybe not that. I don't. He might have sat that one out. But I basically give everything to the Father. And my Father talked to me today. I was laid out in the sun, and I was thinking about this. This is where I place all my energy. So all of my energy goes to the Father. And my Father said to me, when you do that, when you give me all of your love like that, you will change. You will start. In other words, He can change me. He can, because now He's teaching me about Him, which is also about me. But He is, it's like, wow, this is the path. This is the path. It's allowing the Father to change you, you know. But first, before I went to the Father, I asked Jesus in my heart. Jesus took that stuff, but it was my higher self that really wanted Him to be in there because he knew that that was going to be good. And He's still there. He's still in my heart. And uh, then I, I got in, and then Jesus introduced me to my higher self. And then I started talking to myself, and then understanding that is the part of you that is 100% love. Your higher self is 100% love. And all the stuff that we place on top of it is just a distraction. Well, anyway, so then I surrendered all myself, to my higher self. And I thought that was the way. Something a little bit off. And then I ran back to mom, my mother. And just like any good mother, Gaia, she blames herself a lot of times for shitty things we do. Just like any good mother. I mean, and she'll never ask you to love her. She knows it's her responsibility to love you. There's no uh, Gaia group that I know of, or God the Father group. Do you know of any? I mean, there's a lot of Jesus groups, which is fine. I mean, He is God in the flesh, you know, but He's perfect. I mean, but you would be too. If you took on that role to do what He did, I don't know, man, being nailed to the cross and all that stuff. I don't know if I'd do that. I mean, I see people's journey like the guy I'm living with. He's been to Vietnam. He's been sprayed with Agent Orange. He's got PTSD, and he's a mess physically. And I don't know if I could have made it. I was scared shitless when the draft came up. Even though it was 72, it was the last year. There was a 1% chance I could still get drafted. But I was sweating bullets on that because I would have gone just like he did. You know, when you're young, you don't know. You're young and stupid. But wow. But I had a pretty rough journey too. I lost my 2-year-old daughter. I lost my 4-year-old grandson, and now they're with me in paradise. I set up a little place, and I recommend if anybody's lost a child or somebody very close to them, I recommend this. Now this is just something I made up, but Jesus said, you know, I will go and prepare a place for you, and He did that, and I got a glimpse of that, and it is fucking phenomenal. It's if you compare it linearly to a huge Ritz Carlton, miles and miles long, and everybody in the lobby has got a guardian angel with them, and they're talking to them. And then you get out, and it's like infinite floors, and every floor is infinite. And you go in there, you see if you're vibrating, and you can get lost in there for a couple thousand years, you know. And every one of them is fantastic. So that's what He's going to prepare a place for them. Well, anyway, uh, so Jesus is my best friend. He's in the front seat of my Merkaba. A Merkaba or Merkaba, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. This is a plane, a spaceship, like, that we can't see. It's always around us. When we pass away, we're going to immediately be in this Merkaba. And Da Vinci put his hands out and his feet out because it's five-sided, and but it's your ship. And so I pictured my Merkaba, and the ventilation, when I breathe in, it's all chi, and when I breathe out, it's all chi. And then my higher self's driving the Merkaba, Jesus in the front seat, and I'm in the back seat playing with uh, Sarah and Henry. Henry is my grandson, and it was Sarah's suggestion because she's the aunt. She suggested that Henry come in, and I've never met him. I've seen him on video a couple of times, but I never met Henry, and he died in a fire about a year ago. And my daughter died in 1986, so it was a very long time ago. But wow, I had to go through these traumas. I didn't really until COVID, December 2020, I was able to face those emotions from my daughter dying. Oh my God, it was crazy, but it's another story. But everybody that comes here has their own traumas to face. I mean, that's why we came to face this mucky stuff. It's not serious. I mean, this is a simulation, but how brilliant is it? I mean, how brilliant is it that we have a father who's the source of all? We have a mother who birthed every single thing in the universe, the Milky Way, the stars, the planets, every person. Uh, this is our mother. So if you ask your mother to hold you, and I have, I mean, it's a wonderful feeling to have your mother just wrap her arms around you and just feel the love that she has for you. And if your father ever looked in your eyes, God is love, it would probably explode this body. It would just be so much love because there's so much love that our mother and father have, and we're separate. We've been taught to be separate, but now we don't have to be. We can come back. And when you do, shit really starts happening. I mean, to tell you, it's just inside. You feel this bliss all the time, and I just feel so good. So I wanted to document this on a video diary of this day because it was the day after, or no, it's Thanksgiving in America. So yeah, on thanks, you know, something always has happened to me on Thanksgiving that's special. A friend of mine told me that. Yeah, something always special about Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. It's the only one that the advertisers hate because you can't buy a holiday gift for Thanksgiving. You bring a dish to pass. So it's all about giving. And if you look at that, they can't, they hate it because they can't buy anything. We'll have Black Friday. We'll have them get up 4 o'clock in the morning and have them talk about Christmas the whole Thanksgiving. We could ruin it. So they did that, but I don't pay attention to ads anymore. You know, if food is advertised on TV, I never buy it because it's always shit. You know, if they got to advertise it on TV like Budweiser, oh my God, that's horrible beer. Well, anyway, so I went from Jesus. He brought me back to. Well, I was the higher self first. Jesus brought me back, and now they've been there together. And now, my mother and father, and my daughter, and I've got some guides too. I believe I got 4 or 6 guides, but I've never seen them. I think I may have seen one in one of my videos. My face changed to his. I got this weird gift with people's faces will change to a whole other person. They'll still be the same sex, but I've had it happen a number of times, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what the gift is. I don't know why I got it. Why can I see people's? I mean, They'll sit there, a girl will be talking, and for 45 minutes, her face is narrow, her hair is combed over, it's a different hairdo, it's a different face, and she's still talking. And and then she changes back at some point. I don't know why I have that gift. Someday I'm going to find out why I have that. I don't even know what good it is. I'd like to have some gifts, but I'm really thankful. Today is a day of Thanksgiving. Today is a day of being thankful for everything. I'm thankful when I hit the pillow and I just love that feather pillow and I love the bed. Thank you for, I ate enough food today. I got a beautiful place on the water. Oh my God. So I am really fortunate right now at this moment. I would have never chose a place like this. I don't know. Maybe I got to stay here a year. So I'll do that. I have like a studio here, which is nice. So, anyway, today's a big day because if you do this, if you ever feel led, you don't have to go the same route. But if you get to the point where you realize that God is your Father, that there was a seed of the Father that was placed in you at birth, and you can let it die or you can let it germinate, give it water, whatever, and see where it goes. And then it's infinite. Once you get up to Godland, you're at source. And you start understanding there is no good versus evil. There is there's the opposites. You know, God says, hey, all right, these guys are connected as a source, and I want you guys to do the opposite and try to get them off track. So some of them are probably your friends. So be careful who you want justice for. Justice is just bullshit anyway. Anyway, it's a simulation, and no one's going to get arrested after the play is over. Uh, they're doing their job. They're doing a great job. You know, it challenges you. I mean, if we were up in heaven, you're going to always evolve, but you think you're going to evolve if it's easier, but technically, there's shit that happens to us on this earth that we're really glad they happened. They were horrible, but they pushed us to such a degree to find something in us that we didn't know was there or we're remembering who we are. But anyway, I'm ranting. Sorry.